Hello, this is the end of the road to 100 interviews, hopefully. And I'm going out to see the Chicks very soon with Maren Morris. And so, for one last time, I would like to show you my croissant. I felt kind of bad that the road to 100 interviews is kind of ending at the same time that I'm now starting to go to a bunch of concerts and different events. So I'm going to use this video to show you some of the stuff that I'm doing this week. I look like some kind of emo bandit that belongs in the Black Parade, My Chemical Romance, but I'm actually going to see the Chicks. So completely different. Hopefully I don't get COVID in the next 3 days or ever. Eric Alper's parents unfortunately got COVID, so we're not doing our interview this week, but hopefully we're going to reschedule, and he might be the first person that I interview next year. So I have some good news, and I have some bad news. The good news is I've made it to 100 interviews. Mark and Rachel were my final two for this year. The bad news is I wasn't able to get a cake this week, and I've been prepared since May. So, let's see. When I look at this, it's backwards, so it'll take me a minute. Oh my god, that happened the last time too. I always said that when I made it to 100 interviews, I would buy a cake. So, I have this cake. I'm obviously not at 100 interviews yet, but I thought about it, and I've interviewed a lot of bands, so that's more than one person at a time, so technically I'm there. Either way, I'll probably buy another cake. And I dropped one of these on the floor earlier, so I had to get my walker so I could go get it. I'm tired. I've had many days of adventuring. The last time I was working on this video, I was on my way to see Maren Morris and the Chicks. Then the following day, I went to London Comic Con, and then the day after that, I went to see Bailey Zimmerman at White Oaks Mall. And I'm just slowly recovering, so I don't feel like getting on the floor. I bought these candles back in May, thinking that since I had made it to 12 interviews, that the last 7 were just going to fly by, and they did not. So I was at the ready for cake this week, and then I did my grocery order, and there was no cake. Sad. Rachel from Unbound Designs actually sent her answers to me while I was at London Comic Con, and I saw them on my way home, and it just felt like such a weight was lifted, and I was like, oh, I'm done. Even though I hadn't written the article yet, I just knew my search was over, and I didn't have to wait anymore to see if people were going to reply or not. It was so nice. My next goal after this is making it to 1 million views, and I believe after Mark Will's interview, I will be at 950,000 views, so probably like early 2024, I'll have made it to that goal. I think out of all my outings this past week, I enjoyed seeing Bailey Zimmerman the most. However, it was also one of the grossest experiences I've had because nearly 5,000 people came to see Bailey. And if you've ever been to White Oaks Mall, it's very small, and they crammed 5,000 people almost into like one hallway. And it was hot and sweaty and stinky, and I was fortunate enough that I was up close to Bailey. I could have touched him if I'd been a little bit taller, but I'm not, especially when I'm sitting down. I saw somebody there that I know from a record company, and he said there was a chance I could get a picture with Bailey at the end, but I knew it wasn't likely because they said he had to get his picture taken with 200 other people. And I was watching him take photos with all these other people, and it was getting hot in there, and I hadn't had a drink in several hours, and there was people so close to me. I had my bag like right here, and I wasn't even able to open it to get a drink. So by the end of it, I'm like, and he didn't want to breathe because it smelled really bad. And I just decided, no, I have to leave. I need a drink, or I'm gonna puke, or worse. And so I left, and the time it took me to drink a juice box, Bailey was gone, so I did not get a picture with Bailey Zimmerman. But it was worth my mental health, I think, to get out of that area. So I hope Bailey Zimmerman comes back and does another show in London, maybe next year in an area that is safer and less stinky.